Tasmania is such a magic and mysterious place. Stories of thylacines still walking these lands. 100-meter tall trees and huge creek systems snaking through the forest. And inside those creeks, buried beneath rocks over thousands of years, is millions of dollars worth of gold waiting to be found. Now, I've never actually been prospecting before, but it's something that I've always wanted to try do. So I thought I'd link up with one of my good friends to help me attempt to find some Tassie gold and actually talk through the techniques that he uses to find tens of thousands of dollars worth of this gold on his trips. Let's get into it. All right. So we're currently out in the forest of Tasmania. Now, today we got a bit of a different mission planned. We're actually going to be looking for wild gold out here. So we've met up with the man.
How we doing, boys?
Levi, Tassie Boys Prospecting. And yeah, we're going to go out and see if we can get some of the first gold I've ever found.
Chase some candy, mate.
Yeah.
Welcome to Tassie, and we're going to have a good time today. You're going to see some amazing country.
And we've got a little bit of a hike down this big hill.
Yep. Beautiful big bench of a hill here. We're going to hike down. We'll gear up in our wetsuits before we head out, and we'll inflate our pack rafts and work up to a spot that we found some pretty good gold in the past.
Yeah, and I think the good thing about this video is I've never actually gone prospecting before, so I'll be learning along with everyone. Yeah. You found some pretty decent pieces of gold out here.
I have. Got some scales there. We can throw them on there, give you an idea. So feel that.
Wow.
That was a couple of hours work. It was my best day ever. You can feel the weight.
That is heavy as well. It is really heavy.
Yep.
And there's some decent little chunks in there.
Yep. Nice nuggety gold.
Yeah.
There's about 2 ounces of gold there.
How much is that worth?
About $6,000 bucks.
6,000 bucks.
You're holding 6,000. So it just shows how small it is. Like, it's really, really small. And most people, when they go out and they want to find gold, they're just thinking, oh, where's that big gold, you know? And they expect to see nice big chunks, but you got to remember it's very, very small generally.
And you sniped all these little individual pieces over hours in the creek system.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
So this is what we're going to be looking for.
This has got a different geology. It's got like ironstone connected to it.
So it's a much darker colour.
Yeah, a lot darker. The stuff we're going to find today will be really shiny, which I've got another lot here.
Yeah, right.
In this one. Yeah, so these are nice little nuggets. You'd be looking at a gram or two for something like that, a couple $100.
Couple $100 just for that one little thing. Yeah.
And there's got a bit of character, nice shape.
Yeah. And what's the biggest piece of gold you've found out here?
To date, I'm sitting on a 13-gram nugget.
13 gram.
It's not massive in regards to prospectors in Australia. They metal detect and they generally find those bigger bits. With the sniping, you're still kind of getting what they get because you're getting all the little bits, so to speak. Sniping's using a mask and snorkel underwater to extract the gold from the rivers.
And that's what we'll be doing today.
Yeah, we're going to jump in the water and have some fun underwater.
And what's the biggest piece of gold that was found here in Tasmania?
So Tassie's biggest nugget was a 7 kilogram
Wait,
nugget.
7 kilograms?
Yeah. And that it'd be like a large tennis ball, I guess.
And how much would that be worth for a piece like that?
You're talking 700,000 plus a 30% premium, so maybe $1 million.
So crazy, hey?
Isn't that nuts?
So wild that pieces like that and bigger are just out here. In Tasmania.
We could walk over a few today and not even know.
And I'm sure you would have on your
for sure.
trips.
I've no doubt covered some big ones, but not been able to extract them, so to speak.
I think that's why I'm so fascinated about animals as well, because you go out there into the bush and you never know what you're going to find.
That's right.
Yeah.
So this is the stuff. This is actually from the location that we're going today. So it's got a bit of a range in size, but that one there weighs 2.7 grams. Which is a nice piece, about $270. And you probably get a little bit extra for it as a jeweller's piece. They'd use it for jewellery. That'd make a nice pendant, that piece.
Yeah, and that little piece right there, heavy as well. Really
you
heavy.
can feel the weight in it.
Yeah.
Might stop there because I'm probably going to lose the rest of it.
You're right. All right, let's get the wetties on. Get down there.
Go have some fun.
Find some gold.
Yep, mate.
That's sweet. So we're just getting geared up at the moment. And we got a couple pack rafts as well.
That's right.
We're going to be taken down there. Oh, it's a pretty big one.
Yeah, it's a big beast.
Yeah. And did you bring a little pump down? So this is obviously a rock, but if that was gold, how much would that be?
Oh, you'd be looking at probably 100 grand or more.
Yeah, that's so crazy.
Maybe even 200.
Really?
Yeah, it's a nice thick rock. So.
Yeah. And there'd be pieces of gold like that out here.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Buried deep away, probably where I'll never get to them. But
probably a couple meters
you never
under
know.
us
One day
now.
could happen today.
Yeah.
Always that chance.
There you go, boy.
Mate, how good is this?
Isn't it nice, the rafts?
So the creek finally got deep enough for us to launch in. And what we're doing is we're actually heading upstream at the moment. And we've got a place in mind that we're gonna stop and try find some gold at. But yeah, it's pretty amazing. Water's pretty cold, but yeah, keen to get in. You know, Tassie is a pretty magic place, eh? Gold in the rivers, so many amazing animals, and stories of Tassie tigers still living out here. It's a pretty cool place to be. And this is the kind of missions and adventures that I wanted to be going on while we were here. All right, I reckon we'll have to get out and walk a little bit. So what's the technique that we're going to be using?
It's called sniping,
Yeah.
and it's basically just using a mask and snorkel underwater to extract
Pretty
gold.
simple.
Yeah, really simple. I mean, you see the old timers, they'd be panning for gold.
Yeah.
They'd be using like a pickaxe or a crevicing tool to get the gold out of the river's bedrock, but we're actually going underwater doing the same method. So
And they couldn't get underwater
they
back
couldn't
in the
do
day.
it. They literally needed
Yeah.
one of these, and it would have been very difficult for them to get the gold that was underwater.
And when big floods come back through the area, more gold
Yep.
is pushed through the creek.
When you get those large winter floods, you
But
can get
they're-
fresh gold.
One in every 100 years.
Yeah, for a river like this, you're probably talking a 100-year flood. Yeah.
And there was one recently.
We had one in 2016,
Yeah.
so that really opened up a lot of gold for me.
Yeah. And that's when you first got into prospecting.
I did, yeah. I
Yeah.
timed it pretty good.
Yeah, not bad, eh?
You can see how that bedrock goes down low.
And what you want is, because gold's obviously pretty heavy,
That's right.
when it gets pushed down, it gets stuck in these little crevices and stuff.
Yep, gets stuck in the bedrock crevices, and it'll drop behind ledges, so anywhere where there's a high point in the bedrock, because it's heavy, it'll drop down behind and it'll get stuck in those.
Yeah.
Yeah, so when that gold drops into those little bedrock cracks, it doesn't just get there by just literally dropping in. It takes time with the floods of the river and the gravel's all moving. Because the gold's the heaviest material that's moving around, it gets trapped underneath all the lighter material above.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's at the bottom and often is covered by
It's
bits and pieces
it's
of
so
rock.
sneaky, it'll hide in just the smallest little cracks, and it's
Yeah.
always generally right down the bottom. On most of the rivers that I snipe, it's always in that lowest point, so you've really got to work for it.
Cool. Let's try find some.
Yeah,
That
let's
would
get
be
into
so
it.
cool.
So because the gold's generally pretty small, this is what we call a snuffer bottle, and that's the little tool that we use to suck it up. And it's basically just a juice bottle with some
high-tech gear.
Yeah, some tube, a little bit of high-tech gear.
Yeah.
Because it's small, you can't pick it up with your fingers, it's really hard underwater. So you basically just squeeze it, and then it'll just retrieve and it'll suck it up.
That's crazy to me that this and like the few materials that you're using cost barely anything.
And
you just showed us $6,000
exactly.
worth of gold.
All I had that day, the only other tool I had was a shovel.
Yeah.
And the mask,
That is
snorkel,
wild.
bottle, crevice and hook and a shovel. So all I'm doing is just moving my way across the bedrock,
Yeah.
getting rid of the larger rocks and that, and then scratching out what's underneath. The beauty of this location is that you can just about scratch anywhere on this bedrock and you find it.
So you're moving the big rocks,
Yeah.
scratching underneath.
Yep.
And then are you actually looking to see the gold?
Yeah, for sure.
And then you swish it out of the way. And
That's right. Yeah, you're just swishing that finer material, the finer gravels back. See how I'm just getting right down on everything? Yeah. You see that there?
So that's gold.
That's gold. Just a flake of gold.
Wow.
There might be 50 cents there, you know?
Yeah. And just like that, we started finding small pieces of gold worth maybe a few dollars each. Why is this place so good right here? Because we found a fair bit of gold in this one little area.
Just that raised ledge of bedrock.
Yeah.
And then nice little cracks down in behind it. So as the gold's come over the top with the flow of the river, yeah, it's got them trapped in those cracks.
Yeah. I think the reason why I connected so much with this experience and this activity in particular is because I could relate it to the adventures that I normally go on trying to find animals. You have to research the right locations and you have to put in the hours out there in the bush. You're constantly looking at rock formations and trying to understand the flow of the water, thinking what it would be like during heavy floods when this gold's actually moving around and where it's going to end up.
We're just using the metal detector. Yeah, I was just going around with this and it makes a sound which they refer to as a wobble pop. So there's wobble pop, wobble pop.
Yeah.
And I'll give you a sound of it now. You can find it again. Wobble pop,
Sure.
wobble pop.
So right there.
Yeah, so right down in there, and I've already ducked my head under with the mask and snorkel. You can see it just tucked in the crack. So we'll get our masks on and then scratch it out. See how it's tucked in there perfectly. Incredible.
That's crazy.
It's crazy where it can get stuck.
How long would that have been there for?
Well, who knows, thousands of years, mate. It's really hard to say. Could be a fresh one, but not massive, but a nice little bit.
Wow.
Pretty cool, huh?
Really tucked in there, hey?
Yeah, amazing where it hides.
Yeah.
It's addictive though. You wait till you guys hit the big stuff.
Yeah. We've been in the river for a couple hours just cruising around. Did manage to find some gold out here in the wild of Tasmania, which is so cool. What we're gonna do now is get back in the pack rafts, head down the river and head back up. Pretty wild adventure, hey?
Yes. Cool, eh?
Yeah, it's
Best
so cool.
thing.
Alright, so how much gold do we have?
Well, we didn't spend a long time down there.
Yeah.
I generally, like I said before, the days are pretty big, and I think when people watch my videos, they're like, you know, it happens in half an hour when you're watching, but in all reality, it takes hours to find good amounts of gold.
Yeah, it's definitely given me a newfound respect for
the work involved.
You're not only filming, but you're actually out there doing
That's right.
doing the work.
See how we did anyway, so I'll put that money in. Is there any in there is the question. We might need a little bit more water too. That's not bad for a couple of hours down there.
Yeah.
You want to pass me that one, mate? Thanks. Is there gold in the pan? Oh yeah,
True.
there it is. That's all right.
That's
you happy
awesome.
with that?
I'm happy with
Bit of
that.
Tasmanian gold there.
That's so crazy, hey?
Yeah,
It's
pretty
something
cool.
that I don't even think about when I'm out on my adventures.
Yeah, that's
but
right. Unless you've seen it done or whatever, like it
Yeah.
is there. And the thing is, you've probably walked across creeks and rivers up where you live in Queensland, and there's literally gold underneath you.
100%.
Yeah. Good
Thanks,
times.
Levi.
Nah, thanks, Miller. It's
Yep.
been awesome, and really good to meet you and Kurt. And looking forward to future events.
Definitely.
We'll get some more trips happening.
Yeah, maybe even later this week.
Yeah. All right, mate.
Perfect. So we were out there for maybe about an hour or so and managed to find a pretty small amount of gold. It might be worth $40 or $50, I'm not too sure. But I'm so happy with that for my first attempt. Now, saying that, when Levi does big trips deep out into the forest of Tasmania by himself, he can sometimes bring back over $5,000 worth of gold each time. So if you want to see me come back down and plan a bigger trip, looking for some serious gold out there in the wild, let me know. But yeah, it's good to be out here in such a beautiful location and experience this land. We've got a pretty crazy trip coming up in the next few days, searching for a pretty crazy animal that I believe could still be out there in the wild of Tasmania.